people, the way that he visited people, by seeing what he did and what he said. And I think this verse from Luke is an invitation to think sometimes we don't end up experiencing a lot of God's presence because we're not going the places that he's going, and we're not doing the things that he's doing. We're going our own direction. So I want to invite you to look at, are you going to places that he would go in the way that you're treating your enemies, treating people that are hard to be around? Are you loving them? Because that's where he's going. If you're not loving your enemies, you're going to find yourself someplace different than where your Father is. Are you giving for the sake of blessing people rather than just what you can get back in return by making them feel like they're indebted to you? That's where he's going. He's going to places where he's giving freely for the sake of blessing. Where's he going? He's going to be kind to people, even if they're not kind back. He's going to go and love people, even if they don't treat him well back. And so as we learn how to live that way toward other people, we actually end up getting to know our Father in a deeper way, because that's how he treats us. So isn't that good to know that that's the way? Whenever it says in the Bible that we're supposed to do a certain thing toward other people, did you ever think that that's the reason that he says that is because that's the way that he is? That that's the way that he treats you? That he loved you while you were an enemy? That he lent to you not expecting anything in return? That he's kind to you even when you're ungrateful? That he is kind to you even when you're wicked toward him? So think about how you can get to know your Father by doing the things that he would do and saying the things that he would say. And finally on Saturday, to sort of wrap it all up, to keep on praying that God would open up your eyes to see who he is and who you are. From Matthew 16, for those who want to save their life will lose it. Those who lose their life for my sake will find it. That Jesus shares that message that doesn't make sense in our culture. That really the word life is self. Those who want to save themselves, they're the ones who basically make their whole life about themselves. He's saying you're going to end up at the end of it not having anything. Because all you're going to get to know in your life is yourself. You're just going to get to know your interests. You're just going to get to know your abilities. You're going to get to know your priorities. And in the end, you never will have gotten to know anything about God, because you will have never listened to what he's called you to do. You will have never made yourself available to his agenda because you've been living for yourself. And in the end, he says you won't have any left. So as we take time to get rid of the barriers that prevent us from getting to know God, on Saturday, I just want to invite you to look at what direction is the activity of your life. Is the activity all turned in toward you? If it's all turned in toward you, it's likely that you're not going to have a real great relationship with God. But to be thinking, if all you know how to do is live a life turned in toward yourself, to pray that God would teach you how to reverse the polarity, to live your life toward the world, loving people. And in the process, you'll get to know things about God and experience God in a deeper way. And you'll actually end up finding yourself. You'll find the person you were created to be as you give yourself away for the sake of God and loving your neighbor and being part of what God's up to in the world. So there's lots of things to think about this week. And I sort of see each one of them as a little bit of a course correction, that if you're getting a little off course in your relationship with God, each one of these days is an invitation to make maybe a half of a degree course correction that gets you headed into a life that's more full of freedom, where you get to know what God is like, where you get to know what you're like, and where you live a life that truly is a blessing to the people around you. Amen.